Hi, everyone. My name is Arlena Sibillo, and I'm part of the Davidson Institute team, and I'm your host for today. We are excited to be here with you this morning. Before we dive into this Davidson Summit information session, I wanted to go over a few housekeeping points so you have an idea of what to expect in this session. First, this session is intended to run for 60 minutes. The session will include a presentation and be followed by a Q&A. We will do our best to address as many questions as we can in the time allotted. We'd like to point out that this is in a Zoom webinar setting and is designed so staff can share their video, audio, and screen, but attendees are in view-only mode. Please note that the chat feature of Zoom has been enabled. We do ask that you please direct all of your questions to the Q&A feature of Zoom. Please stay through to the end of the session. You will then be directed to our post-event survey to help us gather feedback on your experience. And of course, a recording of this live webinar will be available on the Davidson Gifted website within a week. So now, diving right into this session, I'm pleased to introduce you to Kayla Latin, our Manager of Events here at the Davidson Institute. I'll hand the presentation over to you now, Kayla.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Arlene. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. There we go. All right. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. I'm excited to share more information about our Davidson Summit event this summer. And so we'll just jump in. Just as a reminder from what Arlene shared, if you missed, we're here sharing about the Summit event with current members of different programs from the Davidson Institute and public members who maybe aren't currently quite in a program or are interested in joining a program to hopefully attend the summit this summer or in future summers. We'll be here about 60 minutes long with time within there for Q&A, and we'll be posting a recording later on. So before we jump into information, I'd love to release a poll just to kind of see who's here today and see if this is people who have been to the summit before, have never been, this will be their first time, or potentially aren't currently a member of a Davidson program yet. So seeing who's here and who's wanting to learn more about the summit. We'll just take a minute or two to gather your answers. Your poll box should be up on your screen. So is this your first summit? Is this not? You've been before? Maybe you attended virtually when we had virtual offerings in 2020 and 2021, or way back when we used to call the summit the gatherings across the country, or maybe you're not currently a member yet. All right, let's see what our results are. Looks like this is majority of people, 83% said yes, this will be their first summit, 11% no. You've been to the summit before, a few way back when they were gathering, and then a couple here who aren't members yet. So wonderful, welcome. We've another quick poll to see from those who've answered. Have you already registered for the summit? So Arlene will release another poll. Curious to see if you're already in, you're just wanting to learn more before you are here in June. Maybe you haven't registered yet either, but you would like to come and you're just wanting to learn more, or perhaps you're not sure or maybe you're not a member yet. So just gathering a little bit more to see who's here today. If you do have any questions, like Arlene mentioned, you can throw them in the Q&A. I'll be showing the list of topics we'll be talking about today shortly, so you can see, hopefully we'll be addressing your questions, and if not, we will have that Q&A. Okay, looks like, okay, good. This is wonderful. 35% have already registered, 25% are planning on coming but haven't registered yet, and then about 40% aren't sure if they're going to register yet or not. So wonderful. I'm here to help share more and look forward to hopefully getting some of your questions answered. Okay, so today we'll be talking about what the summit is. We'll go right into the schedule. So that's a majority of families have shared that they want to learn more about the schedule, what's available to who, what offerings we have this year, what it's going to look like. We'll talk a little bit about some FAQs, then some attendee-specific tips and when it comes to teens and tweens, what's offered. We'll talk about a little bit about gearing up for coming, so what parking looks like, how you can plan for your trip, a little snippet on DMC and how to register, and then safety on campus, and we'll go a little briefly into this event, the summit versus our new family retreat event as well, and then time for Q&A. So let's jump in. Okay, so what is the summit? If you are unfamiliar, I just would love to spend a minute just to share what the summit is. So this is our annual flagship summertime gathering for families across all of our Davidson programs. So current youth that might be in the Young Scholars Program, a student at the Davidson Academy, a student for our Davidson Academy online school, or potentially alumni. So maybe they're a Davidson Fellow Scholarship or they've aged out of our programs. It's open and invited. We invite all of those attendees and their families. And the biggest goals for the summit are connection and learning. So I like to think of it as like a social family-based conference. We have lots of fun and engaging activities and learning at the summit. It's a whole family-based event, so parents and students have to attend together. Of course, alumni, you don't have to bring your parents, but some do. But for the younger minor kids, we do require parents are attending with students. It's not a camp. It is a family-based event. So the summit this year is Thursday, June 19th through the 22nd on the University of Nevada, Reno campus. I'll talk more about what happens each day here just in a minute. And who can register for the summit? It is exclusive to current members and alumni from all Davidson programs. So if you're not currently in a program or have alumni status, please go ahead and apply to the program respectively that you're interested in. We do verify membership or alumni status for all registrations that come through. And we have since we're back from the holiday break, we have since released our Young Scholars registration application dates. So those are up and ready for families to take advantage of. And just briefly, we do have a theme for this event every summer, and this year we're really excited to have our theme of Ignite, empowering you to shine brighter. And really, this is a place where we're going to have empowering conversations and learning to hopefully inspire students and parents to nurture their abilities, find their passions. So we're really excited to have families join us this year. So if you didn't know, we have a new summit website. Majority of the information about this event used to be private to current members through our private websites in the past. However, we decided to kind of move this a little bit more visually public to all families interested in learning more about the summit and kind of how to join and connect with other families in person in the summer. So if you go to our Davidson website under programs and scholarships, you'll go to annual family events under summer opportunities. And when you hit this page, you'll see a little snippet about our events. You'll have two sections below, the summit and the retreat. So once you click on the summit, you'll see we have a nice big menu that provides details all about the summit. So if you haven't checked it out, I highly recommend going in there. Two places that are really great to check out, whether you're registered yet or not, are schedule and activities and session descriptions and speakers. There's lots of great information in there. I am not going to be sharing all the workshops and speakers that we have coming today because they're all listed here on our website, so you can see our wonderful keynote speakers and parent and student workshops that we have this summer through our website. You do not have to log in to our private website to see that anymore. So it's available for everyone to see. Jessica, I believe, has shared the link to that in the chat. So if you want to click on it there to get to it easily, you're welcome to. We do have a tentative overview schedule. So on that last page, the tentative schedule link goes to a page that has lots of information, but we're going to quickly go through kind of what the weekend looks like. We do provide a finalized one in the spring, and then for attendees, registered attendees, we do provide a digital copy of our information booklet that people can check out just before arriving in person in June to the event. And so this is currently tentative. Things could shift briefly, but this is generally what we're planning for June. And the summit's all about meeting people and making new friends. So majority of the offerings are kind of centralized around that. And you'll be able to meet other Davidson students, parents, alumni. We definitely have a choose your own adventure type of feel for this event. So we provide a plethora of things each day for families to join, and you get to kind of pick, and you can, grab your information booklet when you check in, and you can highlight, okay, we're going to go to this, this, and this each day. There's lots available in like each day and each time slot. So sometimes you do have to pick and choose, okay, I'm going to go to this event over the other one. So lots of offerings in there. And just to kind of briefly go in there, Thursday, all that's happening Thursday is early check-in. So this is an optional. We do not require families show up Thursday night to start the event. However, we do invite you to join us for an optional early check-in and a welcome social. This year it'll be on campus, very casual get-together to kick off the weekends. This is all that's happening Thursday, unless we also have some attendee planned activities, which I will talk about kind of what those look like here soon in a few slides. So that's all that's happening Thursday. I'll talk a little bit more about what the welcome social will look like this year. If you came last year, it'll be a little bit different. All right, and then moving into Friday. Our main check-in time occurs kind of the majority of the day, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So lots of families, if they didn't come in Thursday night, will typically arrive Friday, usually in the morning, but some trickle in throughout the day depending on their travel schedules. And this day we always have an arts and crafts and games room open. Sorry, let me go back, you guys. My mouse is giving me a problem. We always have arts and crafts and games rooms open. So they're kind of free play. Students and parents come in and their kids can play board games with other kids, do some arts and crafts, lots of space for meeting and connecting and kind of getting to know some students that do require parent supervision. We also have a majority of the morning before our lunch break, we'll have various social activities. So this is kind of where it all begins. We'll have long games, icebreakers, which descriptions for kind of what that actually looks like will be released closer to the event. We vary those every year so that they're not the same, so that we'll have different offerings for families to get to connect. We always have bingo. It's a highly anticipated fun activity on Friday for families to join and play. And of course, simultaneous chess with Grandmaster Ronan Harzi. He'll be there this summit again. In the morning, we'll also have some panels and presentations. So our ambassadors will do a panel and they'll talk about their projects and what it's like to go through the ambassador program. And that'll be available. All families can attend that. We'll have hopefully a tour of the Davidson Academy in the morning and a presentation from Davidson Academy online as well. It's been a while since we've had a tour because we had construction happening in our school building the past few summers. So we're hopeful to bring that back so that families interested in learning more about the Davidson Academy can actually see it instead of just hear a presentation. So more information to come on that. We have an exhibit hall at this event, so that'll be open starting at 10 a.m. Friday. There'll be a lunch break. Then in the afternoon, we're really excited. We'll have various social activities likely to be regional based meet and greets. So we're hoping to host certain areas where families can meet based off where they are regionally in the US. We'll have alumni networking. This was a new event we brought last year that was really exciting. Alumni got to network with current youth, and the youth got to ask the alumni, about their experience growing up in this community, what they're doing now, how their schooling experience might be, what the careers they're doing. It's a really great time for alumni to give back to our youth and to kind of have some inspiring conversations. We'll have another chance for simultaneous chess, of course, and then potentially an afternoon Davidson Academy tour for those who couldn't make it in the morning. And then we really kick off the weekend with our opening keynote address. So if you couldn't make it in Thursday, then we definitely recommend hopefully being there by Friday afternoon so that you're not missing that opening keynote address. We break for dinner, and new this year, we're having our talent show. It usually is on Saturday night, but we're moving it to Friday night. So if your student is performing the talent show, they'll do their practice session earlier on Friday, sometime during the day. And then that evening after dinner break, we'll have our talent show. Alumni trivia will be for alumni only as an option for them to go to instead of the talent show. And I'll talk a little bit more why we decided to move it to Friday night, but we're really excited for that shift. Then moving into the what I like to call the kind of meat of the conference is Saturday, where we have the arts and crafts and games room open again. We have the exhibitor hall open again, but this is where our workshops and parent present and alumni presentations occur. So we have one in the morning. They'll start about 9 a.m. Youth workshops are about 90 minutes long. Parent presentations are 60 minutes, so they have time to get their kiddos to and from their workshops at the beginning and end. And then we'll have a lunch break. We'll have another time, a second time slot for workshops and presentations. We have lots available, the same ones in each time slot so that parents can hopefully attend different topics and students that they're interested in. Then in the afternoon, we'll have our parent focus group kind of, sometimes there's like a presentation style, sometimes they're a roundtable discussion, but those are just an additional option for families to get more information from either our speakers that we have doing workshops or parent volunteers who are really knowledgeable or experts in some sort of topic relating to the profoundly gifted community. And then instead of having our youth and teen mixers on Friday afternoon, this is where we switched it with our talent show. We're providing these on Saturday afternoon, hopefully hoping that Friday throughout the different activities and Saturday during workshops, youth and teens would have gotten connected with hopefully a few students. And then when they arrive at their separate youth and teen mixers, they can hopefully make better connections, a little bit more space and time to have deeper ones if they've already had a chance to meet some kiddos before that. We'll also hoping to have various social activities in addition to these options, like potentially having the regional meetups again as well in this time slot. And then in the evening, we'll have a tentative alumni social. So those who are here with alumni as guests or alumni themselves will have a casual, non-hosted get-together. It might look like meeting up on campus and then heading downtown somewhere to grab dinner. We'll have more details released for that. But for most other attendees, the day kind of ends about 5 p.m. and families can head off to dinner or attend various attendee planned activities that evening. Then Sunday we come back in the morning. We have game rooms and arts and crafts rooms open again. We do a scavenger hunt for students to kind of do a bingo type card that they can submit for prizes by that morning. Exhibitor hall will be open one last chance for parents to connect with those that will be there this summer. And we have our last time slot, our third time slot for youth workshops and parent presentations. And then we'll close just before lunch with our closing keynote address. So this is a little bit different than last year. We no longer have the fourth workshop time slot in the afternoon after lunch and then the closing keynote address due to travel restrictions for families, and we were always making the fourth time slot a free space for students anyways. We decided to just do away with that and still offer 3 for students, but be hoping everyone then can attend our closing keynote address, which we're really excited about this year. Okay, kind of getting now that we've had an overview of the weekend schedule, I would love to just get a little bit more details to you about certain things that I want to highlight from the weekend. So the first being our welcome social. So this year during early check-in from about 3 to 6 p.m. on Thursday, June 19th, we'll have a welcome social. So those who are arriving that evening or local, you can come to campus. We'll provide parking details prior to the event, and you'll park, you'll come and you'll check in. And then in front of our big library on campus, this has this beautiful green space, and this is where we're hoping to host this event. But it'll be like an ice cream social style event. And we will have different icebreakers and different types of ways to get people connecting. And just a way to kick off the weekend. Last year, we had a really beautiful welcome reception at the Whitney Peak Hotel to celebrate our organization's 25th year anniversary. So that was really special, and we loved having that available last year. However, this year we're not able to host that again, but we're excited to kind of involve a new type of welcome social that we haven't done prior to last year. So a casual feel, not a beautiful hotel ballroom. However, we'll be outside on campus kicking off the weekend. We're hoping to have regional based kind of areas to begin connecting with other families. We'll have a teen meetup section. It'll be on campus. You can get your materials, get all checked in, your name badges, your tote bag. We'll have a ice cream or shave ice type of truck where each attendee gets a ticket and can enjoy a special treat on us. And you can head out to dinner or attendee planned activities after you check in and kick off the weekend with us. Likely we'll have a majority of David's staff hopefully there to also meet and mingle with our attendees. Then, one thing I also want to highlight is workshops because we're doing things a little bit different as I kind of previewed this year. So previously, families would in their registration kind of say what workshops they were interested in, and then we would hand place them. However, this year we're putting workshop placements directly in your hands. So we're really excited about this. In later this month in February, we don't have a release date quite yet, but we'll be providing details pretty soon here. But families will register for their own youth workshops directly through our form. So parent presentations and alumni presentations are day of open. They do not have pre-event signups. We host those in large rooms, and as many parents and alumni can attend the options that we have available for those. But for youth workshops, they do need to pre-register for them. So once that form's released, I'll have like a how-to video available for families when all of that information's ready. But basically, it'll be you'll go in and you'll see, okay, during time slot 1, here's my options available. Time slot 2, same options. Time slot 3, same options. And you'll just pick, okay, my student wants to go to this one for slot 1, this one for the next one, and then this different workshop for the third one. And they're all capacity based. Reservations will be accepted on first come, first serve basis. We'll release that to families already registered first, and then as new registrations trickle in when they receive their confirmation email from our team after they've been verified that they're current members or alumni, they'll have the link to sign up for workshops for their youth in that confirmation email. So we're really excited. You get to pick and choose from what's available. We'll have in each time slot the same 10 9, 8 to 9, 10 work 10 depending on registration numbers, but same workshops available in each time slot, but they'll vary. So for example, creature creation workshop might be youth in the first time slot, youth again in the second, because we tend to lean a little bit heavy youth, and then maybe in the third time slot it's designated as a tween or a teen. Just kind of depends. So each workshop will be available for youth, tweens, and teens. We'll have 3 age ranges, and we'll kind of specify that in the form so you'll know where to be picking. If your kiddo is 8 years old, you'll be picking from youth workshops. If your kiddo is in that tween age range, about 10, 11, 12, they'll be in that tween age group and should be picking from those offerings. And then teens would be 12 or 13 plus. You'll also then receive a ticket with email with your ticket details showing what you've registered for. So you'll have that already ready to go saying, okay, I know what I picked for my kiddo. And we'll send out reminders about that closer to the event. We'll contact you if there are any errors. So if you signed up for more than one workshop during a time slot, you can't do that. You have to reserve only one slot per student. So you'll need to submit that form multiple times if you have multiple current youth attending. Or if you signed up a non-member sibling for a workshop, I'll also be contacting you because that is one event that they are unable to attend. Talk more about that in just a moment. So it's really exciting that we're placing this in your hands and you get to pick your own adventure for your student and what workshops they'd like to attend. When the weekend of the summit time does come in June, you'll find that email with your workshops. We're hoping to also potentially print out student schedules as well. We're kind of using a new system, so we're navigating that. But you'll take your student to your reserved workshop. The room numbers for each workshop will be in the information booklet. You'll sign them in. They should be on the list if you have that email saying that you got a spot for them in that workshop. And then once they're signed in, you can head off to your parent presentation. And then once that's your parent presentation's over, you'll head back to get your students. And so we're also navigating our process will be for, if you signed up, you picked your 3 workshops for your kiddo, but you want to change workshops, maybe your kiddos change their mind. Just keep in mind that once you submit the form to cancel, you're going to release those seats out to the public. So as other families are registering and securing their spots, you can't reserve multiple spots at a time. We would be canceling your current seats and then you could re-register, but it's only going to be what's available as they are capacity based. Really excited about that. More information later this month. Okay, then if you're alumni or a guest or family member of alumni attending the summit, we do have various activities for you to enjoy this weekend. So in addition to the keynotes, the panel presentations, the icebreakers, the meet and greets, the mixers, the parent and alumni presentations, we have lots of other opportunities for alumni to network with one another and have fun. We'll do a trivia Friday night during the talent show. We have that alumni networking Friday during the day where alumni first get to network with one another and then with our current youth, which is really exciting. They're really eager to talk to community members, students who are older than them and kind of what they're doing. We'll have a casual non-hosted get together on Saturday night. Maybe that's cornhole at one of our local spots or bocce ball. So more details are coming for that. Sunday we'll have a goodbye brunch. So prior to the last morning workshop on Sunday and closing keynote, we'll have just grab your own breakfast and meet us on campus to connect one more time. And then, of course, the one of the most wonderful opportunities to give back to the summit and your community is volunteering too. So we have various options for alumni to volunteer supporting different activities and our staff during the weekend, or even can help run some activities for our teen groups, maybe a giant game of Mafia on campus, things like that. So more information will be released for alumni soon, but that'll all be on the schedule again this year. We also wanted to share more about our talent show. So if you're unfamiliar, our talent show is a highly anticipated highlight of a lot of our students' summers, and they really enjoy getting to perform at the summit. And so we have all kinds of acts at the talent show, all kinds of talents in our wonderful Davidson community. And so signups will be released not until April. So we'll have specific dates for you soon. So if you're wondering where that is, it will be released and we'll provide that in our Davidson member community private website to attendees so they can get registered. It could be all kinds of things: dance, music performances, comedy, magic tricks. We've had karate, jujitsu, all kinds of different things that your student wants to perform is available. It'll be now on Friday evening. So Friday during the day, they'll have their quick sound check practice session, and then that evening will be the talent show. So if you're interested and you have lots of questions, please email us because we don't have the details up just yet, but it's going to be the same flow as last year, just in on Friday instead of Saturday. Non-member siblings. Okay, so we know we have so many families who are registered or are planning on registering for their family, and maybe they have only one or two students who are current members, but maybe one or two siblings who are not. So what does the weekend event look like for them? So, kind of jumping into my middle section here on this page is they can attend the majority of events. So the summit, the arts and crafts and game room, they can come to bingo, pretty much most of all the activities on Friday. So the tour of the Davidson Academy, the exhibitor hall, the panels, the keynote set presentations, opening and closing. They can participate in simultaneous chess on Friday during both the morning and afternoon options. They can view the talent show, so they're not performing, but they can come and view with their family. They can go to the youth and teen mixers Saturday. They can come to the welcome social Thursday, all the different icebreakers, long games, mixers Friday as well. So what can't they attend? It's really just the alumni only events, which current youth also cannot attend alumni only events. The youth workshops or parent presentations. So during Saturday and AM and PM, the two time slots for workshops then, and Sunday morning, what do families typically do? Well, so families who do have siblings attending, typically most of them have both parents coming, and what they do is they take turns. So during Saturday morning session, one parent is with the sibling, non-member sibling, while the other parent's attending presentations, and vice versa. So they trade on and off. One thing that's been helpful for families in the past is they've found other families with siblings also that they've met Friday during activities, and then they've helped each other with watching each other's siblings during workshops and presentations on Saturday and Sunday so that they can attend if they don't have a parenting partner to pass their kiddos off on to watch for Saturday and Sunday. So lots of different options. We cannot provide supervision. The arts and crafts and game rooms that are open during workshop time slots, specifically Saturday and Sunday, are not open to non-member siblings. So just some things to keep in mind. But the majority of the weekend, they're allowed to participate, and we welcome them and hope that they can join. Then, what does attendee planned activities look like? I've kind of mentioned that a few times, and if you're not familiar, you might be wondering what that even means. So we organize, as I mentioned in the tentative overview schedule, so many events for this families throughout the weekend, but there's always room for more. And one of the ways that happens is for parents and families to volunteer hosting their own smaller get-togethers throughout the weekend. So maybe you want to meet up with families to talk about specific topics. You have a lot of kiddos who are really into coding and you want to have a coding get together for your student, or some more tween and teen activities in addition to the ones that we're providing. Attendee planned activities is a great way to do that. So it could just simply be saying, we're going to be having lunch at this restaurant or at this park at this time. So come and meet up with us there. We've had families who've gone to our Wild Island water park or Coconut Bowl for like a family fun activity. So that could be if you don't want to attend the talent show Friday or Saturday evening when things are kind of done by 5 p.m. for the day. There's lots of time that evening. You could do a Magic the Gathering game night, a book club, lots of different family-friendly restaurants throughout the area as well. Reno has a food truck Friday that's not too far from campus that families go and have dinner at, and just broadcast a space in that area to meet up, and it's a great way to continue connecting. We do have a big Reno rodeo occurring during the same weekend, so some families get a group and attend that together. So we do have a form listed in our Davidson member community where when you've decided what activity you'd like to help plan or host, would you be submitting that form, and then we do advertise it through DMC and then in the information booklet for families to if you require RSVPs or things like that, but they'll get the information on when, where, how, why, kind of for your event through DMC. So it's a really great way. We have lots of different various ones happen every year. So it's really exciting to see what families and parents come up with, because there's different pockets throughout the weekend where they can just continue connecting. Okay, a little general questions. Just to reiterate, are there any off-site, off-campus activities this year? And this year we do not have the beautiful welcome reception that we had last year at the Whitney Peak Hotel or anything like that. So everything's on campus this year. The welcome social is very casual on campus Thursday night. But if there is going to be anything off-site, it likely would be attendee plan activities. They typically occur off campus throughout the Reno area. We have a planetarium that is on campus, so some families have done that. And so you just can reach out to us if you're interested in hosting an APA, and we can help you kind of work through some of your questions. Another question that comes up often is, what are the dining options? We're still solidifying what that's looking like this year, if we'll be offering, we have the dorms have a resident dining hall, buffet style large dining hall on campus. It's typically sometimes a little bit further away from where our buildings for the event are, so we're not sure what that's going to look like this year. It's open to the public though, so that's always an option. But we do have lots of close restaurants nearby that are walking distance. Our student union has some restaurants typically open throughout the weekend too, and so we'll have more information on what those options are specifically, because they vary each year. But lots of restaurants within walking distance if you do not want to have a car, which brings me to my next question. Do you recommend we rent a car? This is really up to you. So if your family's comfortable flying in and Ubering to campus, it's 12 minutes from the airport, if that, and or to their hotels nearby, and just walking and or taking taxis or Ubers or Lyfts throughout the weekend to different activities, knowing that majority of Friday, Saturday, and Sunday you can just be on campus walking around to eat and participate in the event. You definitely don't need one. Lots of families do not rent a car. If you're driving in, obviously you'll have your own car, but yeah, if you're flying in, it's totally up to your discretion. It might be easier to get to and from certain attendee plan activities, to and from your hotel, of course, and to and from different meal breaks if you're wanting to venture out a little bit. So totally up to you, but very doable without renting a car. Teens and tweens, there's lots of questions this year on what is offered for teens and tweens specifically, and this kind of just follows our same kind of approach to this event of choose your own adventure. We have lots of opportunities for teens and tweens to connect throughout the weekend. We are specific though to teens and tweens, what's available in addition to all the family-based events. We're going to have hopefully a teen and tween just meetup area that's open all weekend, this pending space availability on campus to better support them finding one another. But I wanted to talk specifically about what's available for them quickly. So Thursday night, we'll have a teen tween designated meetup area at the Welcome Social on campus. This is also a great night where you could host a teen tween attendee plan activity and could just be broadcasting to meet at a certain restaurant for dinner. Friday, most of the activities are for all ages joining us, the opening keynote, game room, arts and crafts room, presentations, networking, all of the different activities. So there'll be teens and tweens going to bingo and simultaneous chess and long games and all of those activities. However, things we are doing specific to teens and tweens is moving that talent show to Friday night so that the teen mixer Saturday afternoon, hopefully they would have had some more time to connect with other teens before heading to that mixer, and then providing space really for them to connect a little bit on a deeper level, rather than having it quickly after arriving on Friday afternoon like it typically used to be. We'll have regional based mixers this year, so there'll be the potential for that teen only space as well. Just really depends on what UNR's availability for space to give us. We'll have also maybe a secondary option in addition to the talent show on Friday night for teens. So we'll have talent show, alumni trivia, and then if we have space and staff availability to host a fun game on campus for teens that night, we will do that as well. But we do encourage families and teens to attend the talent show. We'll have that back in a larger space this year for more families to attend. This Friday is also a great time for APAs for teens and tweens specifically. You as parents know what your teens are interested in and what they might enjoy most. So connect with families who have been at the summit before and might have suggestions. Connect with our team. We can kind of share what's nearby, and if you're curious and interested in hosting. Saturday and Sunday, we've moved our age ranges from just youth and tween teen to 3 options. So youth, tween, teen to hopefully really differentiate the ages a little bit and getting teens more space for them to just connect with one another on a closer level and to help kind of break out groups that way. This is when the teen mixer will be Saturday afternoon, as I mentioned before. And then Sunday, the third workshops occurs in the morning. And this is lots of time for APAs as well. So as I mentioned, please volunteer. The more you put into your experience, the more you and your student will gain. Often those who've attended APA, they're all interest-based mixers, meals, gatherings around town. It's a great way to connect with other families of teen tweens. And then I'll talk a little bit at the end about our family retreat. We have workshops and social activities at the family retreat that are also open to all age ranges for our programs, 5 to 18, just like the summit. But we curated them to appeal a little bit more so to the tween and teen families to hopefully draw those families to the retreat and providing a close-knit, deep community building experience. So a few just tips for success, something that's really helpful. There's a lot of people at the summit. We have about 900 plus attendees every summer. So you need a quick and easy way for students to share their contact information to stay connected. So we've told students and parents in the past, business cards are a great way for your student to share their name and contact info. You don't have to put, some families are a little bit worried about them getting lost and then their contact information and students' info is out there on a public campus. You can put just their first name or a nickname. You don't have to put their photo. You could put their favorite emoji or avatar or their game, a way for whoever's receiving that business card to kind of like, oh, remember who it is instead of just having an email address or a phone number. You could do digital business cards, so it's a little harder to lose. So you could have like a QR code that families can scan, and then it would go to a way to connect an email address or things like that. And I do recommend bringing a labeled notepad with your student's name on it or a Ziploc with your student's name on it, and either keep it on their parents or attach it to their water bottle or their bag or their hat. Um, People tend to forget that part of the detail and they end up in the lost and found box, and there's 10 others that look the same and they're really easy to lose. So when you label things, that's really helpful, and keep them with either with your parent or on something important to the student so they don't forget and lose them. One thing to keep in mind for parents and alumni and students, everyone, it can be a really big weekend in a lot of different ways. And so it might be the first time that you've been around true intellectual peers. So sometimes discussing and setting expectations and support strategies beforehand super helpful. Just kind of saying, reminding your students that it might not just, you show up at the summit weekend and, you've had 10 new friends. That's not always how it works. It can take some time. And so normalizing that and setting some expectations can be really helpful for students to hear going into it. It can be unnerving and overwhelming because everyone is wonderfully unique within this population. Some students are going to have different interests than you, different abilities. They might be, have different strengths that aren't necessarily the same as yours, and they might have different challenges and talents that might be different than yours. And so that can be a little bit overwhelming to see, especially if students are coming from kind of a background or community where they're typically way ahead of all of their neurotypical peers, and it can be a big shift for them. So just kind of talking that out a little bit is helpful. And then just reiterating with your student, when you're feeling overwhelmed or having really excited or whatever emotions your student might be feeling, how can they seek support from you as a parent? What are you going to do in those moments? Are you going to take a break? Find a quiet place. Do you have a book your student can read? What that might look like for your student and getting that plan in place. And then I highly, highly recommend if your student has made connections or if you're alumni or parent and you've made connections with other alumni and parents, make a plan to stay connected. Sharing those business cards and connection cards are great, but when you don't have a plan on where to go from there, who's reaching out to who first, it can just really get lost in the shuffle, and then you leave the summit and you're not keeping those connections alive. So schedule a time, get out your phone, pull up the calendar, put in a tentative Zoom time for your student to Zoom or FaceTime with their new friend. And even if you have to reschedule it or move it, at least you've got something on the calendar. Set a weekly reminder to start a email pen pal chain with your new friend. Getting something on the books or a way to connect that you're going to connect with these new family members can be really helpful so that you can keep that door open and staying connected. Parking. Okay, so this is a big question. So families who do drive here or rent a car, what does parking look like? It is a big university campus. However, we provide you with a parking pass for the whole weekend. Thursday is Juneteenth, and so technically most of the campus is closed for the holiday, and parking's going to be hopefully a little bit easier for families this day. We'll let you know where the best spot for early check-in is to park, and then we'll also release what the main parking garage for the whole remainder of the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is to families prior to the event so they know where to go. But how it works is at check-in, you'll just arrive to our designated spot and at early check-in, you'll grab your parking pass for the weekend there. And you don't have to worry about getting it back to your car right away because it's the holiday, so they're not checking parking. If you're not arriving to Friday, we'll have a staff member handing out parking passes while you arrive. So early check-in, you can just park and come to the designated spot. Friday and throughout the weekend, you'll receive your pass upon arrival to the garage. So if you have questions or you need access to ADA parking, please email us and we have more information for you. Okay, I just have a few more slides before we get to our Q&A, so please be putting questions in the Q&A box if you haven't already, and we'll be getting to those in just a moment. But wanted to quickly go through what it looks like for prepping and packing for this event. So Reno is a high desert. We're really dry and hot in the summer. It can be 80 to 100 degrees. We can also have a summer storm coming in and it's windy and only 60s or 70s, which is rare. Typically, it's really hot. So pack your hats, your sunscreen, your water bottle. Bring a light jacket though, because it is a university campus and all of our events and activities inside are highly air-conditioned buildings, so it can be chilly inside. Evenings can also be windy and 50 to 70 degrees at night, so keeping that in mind if you're out doing APAs and social time in the evenings. We do recommend bringing lotion and chapstick. Staying hydrated is really huge because it is so dry here. But on the plus side, your laundry and your hair dry much quicker if you're not used to that dry climate. You'll be doing a lot of walking on campus through different buildings. If you're walking from a downtown hotel or even just parking and walking, you'll want comfortable shoes. So please keep that in mind. Social. So like I mentioned before, one of the biggest goals and reasons to come to the summit is to connect with other families. So a great way to do that is bring your own favorite board game or playing cards. That's a great way to just impromptu games and to connect with new friends, and then to have those connection cards or business cards so you can help share contact information. If you'll be interested in playing simultaneous chess, whether that's Friday for all attendees who want to participate, and then Saturday and Sunday for current youth during workshop times, you'll need a chessboard. So typically we'll have a few extras for people who forget, but it's only a couple. So you need to be bringing your chessboard if you're interested in playing. And then don't forget to just pack a smile. I know that's cheesy, but this is a really special time, and the more that you're excited and open and and ready to connect and make the most of it and have fun, the better your experience will be. We do provide families with 2 hotel blocks, courtesy hotel blocks with discount codes. The 2 places are the Whitney Peak Hotel in downtown Reno. It's a non-gaming, non-casino hotel within walking distance of the campus. For some it's too far, but for others it works well to get there to get on campus by 9 or 10 a.m. when things begin. And then we also have one further away with it's definitely need a car or Uber or Lyft to campus. It's right next to the airport, so about 10 to 12 minutes away, very close. The Hyatt Place Hotel. They're both beautiful hotels. Hyatt Place has like a meeting space area that they reserve just for our families over the weekend, so there's lots of connection and board game time that families utilize that room for. And that's going to be only provided and private to current members who are alumni or current members. So you'll go to the Davidson member community, join the summit, and select the library tab to see more information that's been posted so you can book your hotels. Okay, and then how do you register? On our website, we do have all the information about how to register. And so I've kind of put some of it here. We are currently have released standard registration. So it's open right now through April 30th. Once April 30th comes, we will close standard registration and we will be posting late registration. It's the same registration process. However, it's only open for one more month through May 30th, and the fees increase by $25 per person in addition to the standard fees. So current youth are 120 right now during standard registration, and it moves up to 145 during late registration. And the final deadline will be May 30th. We will close the registration then, and we will not have it open all the way up into the summit event like we did last year. Still open pretty late, knowing that the summit starts 19 days later on June 19th. But just keep that deadline in mind. If you are applying to a program or not currently a member or alumni, that's kind of the latest you'll be able to register. So please be sure to apply to your respective program prior to the deadline. All fees are non-refundable. That table of fees is on our website, so you can see what each attendee type fees are. However, you'll notice on that registration page, the registration link isn't there. That's because we do keep it private to current members or alumni, because this event is exclusive to those who are current members or alumni across all Davidson programs. You'll have to log into the DMC Davidson member community and go to this 2025 Summit community to find the registration link. So this is a way we help keep this event private and exclusive, in addition to verifying registrations. But this is kind of how we keep that. So you won't be able to log in and find that direct registration link until you're in our programs. In there, that's where we have the hotel courtesy block information. We'll be posting attendee plan activities there, discussion forums to connect with families prior to the event. We'll have copies of our e-newsletter that starts in April with details on the event and how to prepare, and we'll have a copy of our digital information booklet that we provide to families when they come to the event. So lots in there other than the direct registration link, so please check it out. Jessica's going to send a link there for easy access for those who are current members or alumni. And then lastly, just want to talk really quickly on safety on campus. This is huge. We host this event on the University of Nevada, Reno campus. It's a public campus. It's a college university campus. There's college classes happening in the summer, other events happening in the summer. While we might have a tour of the Davidson Academy, that's one small building on this campus. So majority of the places will be are public and open to the public. So university has a rule that all minors under 18 years old must be escorted by parents at all times on campus. That's their rule. And so that is why there's only certain times of the weekend where current youth can be signed in for our supervision. Otherwise, they have to be non-member siblings and current youth have to be supervised by parents all weekend. So you cannot leave your kiddo just hanging out on campus to go grab lunch off campus. That's not safe. Please do not do that. Um, we have different designated shirts we wear throughout the weekend, blue, white, or gray. Our whole staff will be wearing Davidson shirts, so we're easily identified. But please also have your phone available. We'll be reaching out and calling you if we, need you during workshops, your child's, has a concern, whatever it might be, or is in an area on campus away from parents, we'll be calling you to get back in touch with your students. Okay, before we jump into the Q&A, really briefly, just want to touch, well, what's the difference between this event and our new family retreat? Both events are really similar in a lot of ways, but very different also. So just quickly, they're going to provide connection. They are also based in our mission to nurture and support the profoundly gifted community. They provide meaningful learning. They're whole family based. They're private to the Davidson community, and they both have an engaging schedule. However, I'll quickly bebop through this list. The summit's a much larger event, so it's open to current and alumni across all Davidson programs. So young scholars, Davidson Academy Online, fellows, alumni. It's about typically 900 to 1,000 attendees, depending on the year. That might be a little less with the launch of our new event. Whereas the family retreat is much smaller and it's only young scholar families, about 300 to 400 total. At the summit, families stay in the Reno area throughout different Airbnbs or hotels, whereas a family retreat, you're going to stay on site overnight in the residence hall. So it's more retreat style where you're staying locally on site on the campus. The summit is much more of a conference style schedule with an exhibit hall, workshops, panels, parents, presentations, mixers, whereas the retreat style schedule has morning movement yoga for families in the morning. Our workshops are much more close knit, smaller, and all the activities Fridays and in the evening are much more family-based bonding versus some of the other types of mixers we do for the summit. At the summit, we have our signature talent show event that's really fun for students to participate in it each year. And then at the retreat, we have a vision board reflection activity on Sunday, and we'll have a Saturday family night social event called the Mock Rock this year. And I'm not sure if we're going to vary that each year, but that's a much different feel. Mock Rock's going to be families kind of doing lip syncing or skits and performing for the group and just really having fun together. Our theme and our focus is much different. So the summit, we are going to be celebrating potential and achievements of our PG community through the various programs that they're participating in. It really the topics for the keynotes and workshops really inspire talent development, interest exploration, networking opportunities, whereas the family retreat is much more about self-discovery, personal and familial growth, nurturing your intellect and strengths, and just really deeper family connections and community bonding. So that's kind of a brief way to view the two different events. You're welcome to come to both. We have some families already attending both events this summer, so depends on kind of what experience you're looking for. Okay, we'll jump into the Q&A. I did want to mention if you're interested in the family retreat, we will have our info session tomorrow morning, February 4th at 10 a.m., and you can RSVP for that on our website. The summit email is at the bottom of this page, so if you are wanting to know more, or we don't get to your Q&A question, please email us and we will get back to you. So I'm going to jump into as many as we can. I know we only have a few minutes. We might go over by a little bit, but if I don't get to your question, please email us and we will get back to you. Okay, we are applying to the Davidson Young Scholars Program and will submit our application by February 14th. We plan to attend the summit and family retreat this summer. Please confirm if we can participate upon successful enrollment. In this case, do we need to sign up for the summit simultaneous with the YS application? Great question. No, you will receive your, I believe, your decision notification if you're submitting in full. That's the key part there. You have to get all pieces done by February 14th. So as long as that happens, you'll actually go through that process. And when you receive your decision of a notification, I believe it's 2 to 3 weeks later, you'll definitely have plenty of time to register for either event. The summit is open and there is no limit technically for the summit. So that's open through May 30th. So if you receive your acceptance by beginning of March, you'll have plenty of time to register. The retreat is first come, first serve. However, we don't anticipate filling by March quite yet, unless that really picks up. So you do not need to register, and we do not ask that you submit it simultaneous with the YS application. We would be canceling your registration. We only want people who are currently members or alumni registering. So if you're going through the app process, just please have patience and wait to register until you're accepted. Okay, how will my kids register for the talent show? Great question. It'll be an online form. Depending on the year, we only have about, Arlene can correct me if I'm wrong, or it'll be posted, but typically about like 35 spots. And then we'll have a waiting list, I think, too. And it'll just be an online form. So we'll have the date for that released prior to the release. So you'll know, okay, in a few weeks, I need to make sure I register. You can mark it on your calendar. And it's through a form. Arlene processes all of those, and then she connects with families, letting them know if they got a spot or not, and more details for the activity. What happens in youth workshops? When can registered families expect to receive workshop signups info? So great questions. On our website, if you go to our website and you go into the Davidson Summit under session descriptions and speakers, you can see the whole list of the 8 workshops we have, with the simultaneous chess being an alternate option. If you're already registered, you'll receive the link to sign up for workshops later this month. We don't have the exact date ready just yet. If you haven't registered for the summit yet, and it's already been released in February, you'll get access to it in your confirmation email after you register for the summit. But they're interest exploration engaging 90-minute workshops. So they're varied. We have STEM topics, we have literature topics, we have humanity topics, random other type of really fun topics. They might be based on the theme, so Ignite, empowering you to shine brighter, or they might just be like origami and math, for example, is one this summer. Lots of different topics. They're all available on the website. Students get signed in. They might build something. They might create something, whether that's through art or writing. They might learn how to do a certain activity, a game to connect with others. The descriptions for each workshop kind of entail what they'll be learning in each of those. Okay. Can we register for a tour of the Academy in advance? We are traveling across country for the event and want to make sure we are able to go on a tour. Great question. We're, again, not sure if we'll have a tour available this summer or not. We're hoping to, and you would not need to register in advance. It would be open to as many families who want to attend that tour if we have one or two. And if we don't have a tour, we'll have an info session. So we'll have one or both. And the info session would be staff from the Davidson Academy sharing more about the school. And hopefully we'll have the tour aspect where you can see the school as well. But either way, you'll definitely be able to get more information about the Davidson Academy while you're here. Okay, let's see. Where do we park when we come to the summit? Great question. This will be released. I don't have the garage ready and available for you just yet, but there's three main parking garages that we typically route families to, and we're hoping to be at the one that's closest to our home base, and our home base is still being finalized of where we'll have the majority of activities from the weekend. So it's a big campus parking garage, and you'll have access and a pass that you have to place on your dashboard for the weekend. So everyone gets access to park, and we'll let you know where that is. It's all the two main ones and the other one, they're like two main roads that run parallel to campus. So we'll let families know through the Summit Scoop where to park. Closer to the event. Okay, this one I really want to get to. Are there water refill stations around campus? Yes. So most buildings now have, wherever their bathrooms are, they have a drinking fountain and a water bottle refill station. So please bring your water bottles. It is summer session, so not a lot of the restaurants on campus are open, depending on the day and time of day. Some are. We're hoping to have a good chunk open, just waiting to hear back from if they'll have staff available or not. But where we'll have our home base and then where workshops and presentations will be Saturday and Sunday, almost all of them have water bottle refill stations. So bring your reusable water bottle. If you forget it, grab a water bottle or two from a gas station on your way to campus. Okay, I think that pretty much wraps up all of our questions for the event info session, for the summit info session. Thank you so much for joining me today. Like Arlene said, a recording will be available. I think she'll kind of talk about where to find that. But if I didn't get to your question, please email summit@davidsongifted.org and we'll get back to you. And we're really excited to welcome you this summer in June, and we hope you can make it.
Awesome. Thank you, Kayla, for sharing this information about the Davidson Summit and addressing everyone's questions for our audience. And thank you everyone for joining us. Please remember to do the survey after the session closes. If you would like to view this session again, the recording will be posted on the Davidson Member Community website under our expert video library, or you can also find it on our public website as well. All right. Thank you again, everyone. Please don't forget to complete our survey. And thank you again, Kayla. Bye, everyone.